It appears Unrivaled has gotten its answer, and Caitlin Clark is out.
Unrivaled just announced their rosters for this upcoming season while simultaneously pulling off the biggest troll in sports history.
Caitlin Clark just turned down a $2 million offer from Unrivaled League, and fans can't believe it.
This was the November 20th deadline that, if you guys remember a few weeks ago, Nafisa Collier said that by November 20th, all the players would be announced and we would get the official lineups for each team.
Leaving basketball enthusiasts questioning what went wrong with Unrivaled teasing her involvement for months. The league's future now hangs in the balance. Could this decision spell disaster for their debut season? Stick around, this is huge.
Now, Unrivaled did the funniest thing last night that got a lot of us hooked in.
The news is official and fans are in complete disbelief. Caitlin Clark, the golden girl of women's basketball, has rejected what many are calling the opportunity of a lifetime. Think about this: $2 million for 10 weeks of play. That's not just life-changing money, it's historic in women's sports. But she still said no. Why? What's really going on here?
So just last night, Unrivaled put out this letter where they said, "Dear management, what might seem like an average Wednesday in November is in fact a momentous occasion. Okay. A momentous occasion for those who follow women's professional basketball. Please excuse blank from 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. Eastern Time so that they can watch Unrivaled's basketball club selection presented by State Farm."
Unrivaled was supposed to be the future of women's basketball, a fast-paced three-on-ray league that promised excitement, innovation, and a star-studded roster. And let's be honest, Caitlin Clark was supposed to be the centerpiece from the beginning. The league built its marketing campaign around her, teasing fans with subtle nods to her jersey number 22 and creating cryptic promotional videos that seemed to scream Clark is coming. But when the roster was revealed, her name was nowhere to be found. Instead, ESPN dropped the bombshell: Caitlin Clark isn't joining Unrivaled.
It goes on to say 11 a.m. once again, and at the very end reminds you once again 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, the whole thing about this Unrivaled League is when they are announcing new players, they have always done like a teaser video before they announce the players. They've always been about doing little mysteries or Easter eggs or trying to get people to like guess who was gonna join Unrivaled.
Let's break this down because money, there's a lot to unpack. First, let's talk about the money. Reports suggest that Unrivaled offered Clark $2 million for just 10 weeks of play. That's $200,000 a week. For context, the average WNBA player makes around $120,000 a year. On top of that, Clark was reportedly offered equity in the league. That's right, she wouldn't just be a player, she'd be a part owner. So why would she walk away from such a lucrative deal? One theory is timing. Clark's schedule is already jam-packed between endorsement deals, speaking engagements, and her other commitments. Adding a 10-week league to the mix might have been too much. And let's not forget, Unrivaled season overlaps with major events like NBA All-Star Weekend, where Clark is rumored to be making an appearance. Could it be that she simply didn't have the time? But timing isn't the only issue. Some insiders believe Clark's decision highlights deeper concerns about the league itself. Unrivaled is new, untested, and let's face it, a bit of a gamble. While the league has ambitious goals, it's still finding its footing. For a player like Clark, who has already cemented her legacy in traditional basketball, the risks might have outweighed the rewards. And then disappointment. There's the equity offer. While owning a stake in the league sounds appealing, it's not without its risks. What if the league doesn't take off? What if it folds after a season or two? Clark might have decided that the promise of equity wasn't enough to justify the potential downsides. Fans, of course, are devastated. Social media is buzzing with frustration, disappointment, and let's be real, a lot of anger. Many feel that Unrivaled misled them with their marketing. The league's decision to leave 2 wildcard spots open on the roster announcement only added fuel to the fire. Fans assumed those spots were reserved for Clark and another major player, possibly A.A. Wilson, but when those spots remained unfilled, it felt like a bait and switch. Unri hyped this up for months, and now they have nothing to show for it. One fan tweeted, another wrote, Caitlin Clark was their ace and they played their hand too early. Now they got nothing. It's safe to say the league has some serious damage control to do. But let's not forget the bigger picture. This isn't just about one player or one league. Caitlin Clark's decision to decline Unrivaled is a wake-up call for the entire women's sports industry. It highlights the challenges of building a new league, even with star power and bold Ideas women's sports have come a long way, but there's still a long road ahead. Critics argue that Unrivaled overhyped its debut season without securing the necessary star power. By leaning so heavily on the assumption that Clark would join, they set themselves up for failure. Now the league faces an uphill battle to regain trust and prove that they can succeed without her. The timing consequences of Clark's decision couldn't be worse for Unrivaled. With their debut season set to begin in January, the league is already facing challenges. Their 3-on-3 format, while exciting, is untested at the professional level without a player like Clark to draw viewers and sponsors. Unrivaled ability to deliver on its promises is in question for Clark. The decision seems to be a calculated one. As one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports, she has the luxury of choosing her opportunities. By turning down Unrivaled, she's preserving her energy and brand for future ventures, but for her fans, the decision feels like a missed opportunity. Many were excited to see her take on a new challenge, and her absence leaves a noticeable void. And what about the league itself? Unrivaled reliance on cryptic marketing and teasers has backfired, leaving fans disillusioned. Instead of generating excitement, their promotional strategy has created frustration and skepticism. Critics are questioning whether the league has the resources and vision to succeed without Clark. But this story isn't over yet. Unrivaled still has a chance to prove itself. While other players like A.J. Wilson and Lexi Hall are confirmed they don't have the same star power as Clark, the league will need to find new ways to draw viewers and sponsors, or risk losing momentum before their season even begins. The stakes are higher than ever for Unrivaled. The league's debut season was supposed to be a turning point for women's basketball, a chance to showcase the sport's top talent on a new stage. But without Clark, their vision is at risk. Can they deliver on their promises, or will her rejection mark the beginning of the end for this ambitious project? Clark's decision also raises deeper questions about the state of women's sports. While the $2 million offer was groundbreaking, it's worth noting that male athletes in similar situations often earn far more. The fact that even a player as talented and marketable as CL hesitated to join highlights the ongoing challenges women's sports face in gaining equal recognition and the bigger picture support. As the dust settles, it's clear that this story is far from over. Clark's decision has sparked a larger conversation about the future of women's basketball and the role of leagues like Unrivaled. Can the league recover from this setback, improve its viability, or will this be a cautionary tale about the challenges of building a new sports platform from scratch? Let's dive deeper into what Caitlin Clark's decision really means, not just for Unrivaled, but for the bigger picture of women's sports and basketball as a whole. First, we need to understand the magnitude of what Unrivaled was trying to accomplish. Their goal wasn't just to launch a league, it was to redefine how we see women's basketball, and honestly, they weren't wrong to aim big. The 3-on-3 format is fast-paced, high-energy, and completely different from traditional basketball. It's designed to attract viewers who might not usually tune into sports. Think of it as basketball meets street ball, where skill and speed matter more than size or strength. On paper, it's a brilliant idea, but in practice it's uncharted territory. That's why they needed someone like Caitlin Clark to legitimize it. Without Clark, Unrivaled faces an identity crisis. Who will be the face of the league now? Sure, players like A.E.L. Wilson and Lexi Hull are talented and respected, but they don't carry the same star power or global appeal. Clark, the consequences, isn't just a player, she's a brand. Her presence alone could have attracted sponsors, fans, and media attention. Without her, the league loses a lot of its momentum. And let's talk about the financial side of things. The $2 million offer wasn't just a paycheck, it was an investment. By offering Clark such a massive sum, Unrivaled was betting on her ability to bring in viewers and generate revenue. But now that investment is gone, the league will have to find other ways to draw attention, and that won't be easy. One of the biggest criticisms of Unrivaled strategy is their reliance on cryptic marketing. Fans were led to believe that Clark was already on board thanks to subtle clues like the 22-minute promotional video referencing her jersey number when her name wasn't on the roster. It felt like a betrayal. Fans don't like being misled, and this could hurt the league's reputation in the long run. But let's not forget Clark's side of the story. Turning down $2 million isn't something you do lightly. For her, this was about more than money. It was about protecting her brand, her legacy, and her future. Joining a new, untested league is a risk, and for someone as established as Clark, it might not have been worth it. Clark's decision also raises important questions about the state of women's sports. While the $2 million offer was groundbreaking, it's worth noting that male athletes often make far more for similar commitments. This highlights the ongoing pay gap in sports, and it's something that leagues like Unrivaled need to address if they want to attract top talent. Now let's what this means for Unrivaled. Shift gears and talk about what This means for Unrivaled moving forward, the league's debut season is still set to begin in January, but they'll need to work hard to win back the trust of fans. One way they could do this is by focusing on the players they do have instead of dwelling on the ones they don't. A.A. Wilson, for example, is a phenomenal athlete with a huge following. If Unrivaled can market her effectively, they might still be able to salvage their season. Another potential solution is to focus on the unique aspects of the 3-on-Ray format. This style of basketball is unlike anything else in the professional world, and that alone could be a major draw. By highlighting the fast-paced, dynamic nature of the game, Unrivaled can attract viewers who are looking for something fresh and exciting. But let's not sugarcoat it, this is an uphill battle. The league has already lost a lot of credibility, and they'll need to prove that they can deliver on their promises. Fans want to see action, not just hype. If Unrivaled can showcase competitive, high-quality basketball, they might be able to win back some of the goodwill they've lost. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's career continues to soar. By declining Unrivaled, she's sending a message. She's not just here to play basketball, she's here to build a legacy. Clark is already one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports, with endorsement deals like State Farm and countless speaking engagements. Her decision to focus on these opportunities instead of joining Unrivaled shows that she's thinking long-term. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Clark, it's about the ripple effects a decision will have on the industry. Unrivaled was supposed to be a turning point for women's basketball, a chance to showcase the sport's top talent on a new stage. Clark's rejection is a reminder of how difficult it is to build something new, even with bold ideas and big names. Critics argue that Unrivaled failure to secure Clark highlights the challenges facing women's sports as a whole. While the $2 million offer was impressive, it's still a fraction of what male athletes earn in similar situations. If we want to see more leagues like Unrivaled succeed, we need to address the systemic issues holding women's sports back. But let's not write off Unrivaled just yet. The league still has potential, and with the right strategy they could turn this setback into an opportunity. For example, they could focus on creating compelling storylines around their players. Fans love drama, rivalries, and personal connections, and Unrivaled has the chance to deliver all of that. They could also lean into the reality TV style content they've teased in their marketing. Behind the scenes footage, player interview, and off-court moments could help humanize the league and make it more relatable to viewers. In today's media landscape, storytelling is just as important as the game itself. And let's not forget the power of social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube are perfect for showcasing the fast-paced action of 3-on-Ray basketball. By creating shareable content and engaging with fans online, Unrivaled can build